With Salesforce CPQ now end of sale, thousands of companies are looking for a replacement. Most will pick the wrong one, not because they didn't do their homework, but because they don't know what to ask. The vendor pitch decks all look the same. The features all look the same on paper. But at Kugamon, we've been working with Salesforce admins on CPQ migrations for over 15 years. Today, I'm going to give you the 5 questions to ask every vendor before you sign anything. Treat this as your buyer's checklist. Question 1. Where does your quote data physically live? This is a question that exposes more vendor trade-offs than any other. The answer should be inside Salesforce, inside native Salesforce objects, not synced with Salesforce, not available in Salesforce via integration, not connected to Salesforce. Here's what native looks like. I click to open this account, I scroll down, and I open this quote. Same security model, same audit trail, same reporting. No second login. No view in vendor portal link. Now, here's what non-native looks like. Your rep logs into Salesforce, hits create quote, and gets bounced to a second web app with a separate login. The quote data lives in that vendor's database. A sync layer copies it back to Salesforce sometimes. And a Salesforce admin we worked with this year tracked 47 approval processes in production, most of which existed only to fix Salesforce to vendor data mismatches. Ask every vendor, show me a quote directly inside a Salesforce record with no separate login. If they need to switch tabs, you have your answer. Question 2. Does the CPQ you're evaluating use Salesforce's native product and pricebook objects or its own? This sounds technical, but it matters in 2026 more than it ever has. Here's why. Salesforce has 2 flagship products that read CPQ data, Agentforce and the third-party Salesforce native AI ecosystem like Claude, Cirra AI, and Mikos AI. These tools work natively against Salesforce product objects. They cannot work natively against a vendor's proprietary product object. This is an example product record within the standard Salesforce product object. Kugamon uses it, Salesforce uses it, Agentforce reads it, Cirra AI, Mikos, Cloud reads it, native. Now, all of these steps and this UI and this just entire flow here, this is a vendor proprietary product model. Oftentimes, these have a different object name, a different schema, different security. Agentforce needs custom integration to read it. Cirra AI, Cloud, they also need custom integration. Every new AI tool needs custom integration. The question to ask every vendor is, do you use the standard Salesforce product and pricebook objects or your own? If the answer is anything other than standard Salesforce objects, your AI future just got more expensive. Question 3. Can your current Salesforce admin run it, or do you need new certifications? This is the question that determines your real cost. Vendors will often quote you a per user license, but they will not quote you the actual implementation and ongoing admin cost. Therefore, it's important to ask. Those numbers vary by an order of magnitude between vendors. For example, Salesforce Revenue Cloud has new admin skills your team will need to learn. The user interface is API heavy. Configuration is not point and click for most areas. Additionally, implementation typically runs 2 to 4 times the license fee and 9 to 18 months end to end. Kugamon, by comparison, is point and click configurable. Implementation typically costs 1/4 to 1/3 of annual licensing. No system integrator is required. Here's what a typical product record looks like in Kugamon. So once you have this created, Kugamon will create this additional product info record for your product, which will bring you even more enhancements to the product record itself. Now, additionally, I have opened a configurable product, and you can see that within the product snapshot here that I can actually configure this. So if I'm an admin and I want to reference this configurable product and these settings that I had set up and not need to start from scratch, if I wanted to create a second configurable product, I can do that with Kugamon. I can just copy this template and use it to create my second product in just a matter of seconds. So this really all saves you so much time, and there's no code, no API calls, it's just a few clicks. So the question to ask every vendor is, walk me through configuring a new product, click by click, with my current Salesforce admin in the room. And if you see your vendor pulling up code, you have your answer. Question 4, is the full revenue lifecycle in one package, or do you stitch CPQ plus billing plus e-sign plus document generation? This is what I call the stitching tax. Salesforce sells CPQ, billing, revenue recognition, and document generation as separate products. Conga sells CPQ, CLM, Sign, and DocGen separately. DealHub sells Deal Room, CPQ, and now Billing. They're all different tiers. Every stitch is a place where data has to flow between products, where versions have to stay in sync, where AI agents have to learn a new schema. Kugamon ships all of it in one managed package family. CPQ, orders, billing, invoices, payments, shipments, subscriptions, renewals, assets, one data model, one vendor, one upgrade path. Why this matters in 2026? Each fragmentation point is a place where Agentforce either breaks, hallucinates, or requires custom integration. One unified data model is the AI substrate. Everything else is plumbing. The question to ask every vendor is, list every SKU and add-on I need to buy to get from a lead to a renewed contract. Sum the line items, watch the total grow. Question 5, and this one is the easiest test of all. Is the pricing published? Open Salesforce Revenue Cloud's website, search for pricing, and you'll find contact sales. Same with Conga, same with DealHub, same with Subskribe, same with New. Open Kugamon.com and you'll find our pricing clearly laid out, with all of the details and information that you need in order to assess if this is within your budget. Why does this matter? Because contact sales pricing means the vendor doesn't have a real price. They have a range based on what they think they can extract from you. If a vendor is afraid to publish the price, ask yourself why. The question to ask every vendor: send me your published pricing in writing today, in this meeting. If they can't, that's data. So here's what to do with the 5 questions. Build a simple scorecard, 5 rows, 1 per question, 3 columns, each for your 3 top vendors. Score each one 0, 1, or 2. 2 is a yes, they had proof, they could answer your question. 1 is partially. They could kind of answer it, but there were some caveats. And 0 is just no. They couldn't answer your question or they didn't have it. If a vendor scores a 0 on any of the 5 questions, it's not a deal breaker, but it's a red flag. If they score 0 on 3 or more questions, you should walk away. We've built a downloadable version of this checklist, plus added a more detailed buyer's checklist available on our website. Check it out in the description below. It's free. The next video in this playlist, video 3, is where I will break down exactly what Salesforce Revenue Cloud actually costs over 3 years and use a real ROI calculator. The numbers will surprise you. Subscribe if you want the rest of this series as it ships, and drop a comment with the CPQ vendor you're currently evaluating, and I'll pull up some killer questions specifically for that vendor into a follow-up. See you there.